Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see about the function in Python. First, let's know what is meant by function. A function is nothing but a block of code which only runs when it is called. So whenever we are calling the function, then only the block of code will execute. Otherwise, the block of code will not execute inside the program. The function can be placed anytime at any place inside the program. So you can pass the data also inside a function, and the passing data, which is known as the parameters, into the function. First, I will show you how to create a function, and then I will read the definition so that you can understand it. Now let's see an example for function. For creating a function, we should use the keyword def. As Python is a case sensitive language, the d must be small. So def, after the def keyword, we should specify the function name. It can be any name, as every person has its own name, like every function should have a unique name. So here you can specify the function name. It can be any of the function name. It may be a dog, it may be a cat, or it may be your name also. So inside this round brackets, you should specify any parameters. It is not necessary, but if you want to specify any parameters inside this, you can specify it, and these parameters can be used inside the function. So the value of the parameters can be given, that is out of the function. So I have printed here welcome to Techno Programs, and the parameter value also I have printed. So now if I need to use this function inside the program, then I need to call the function. So using the function name, you can call the function, and if the function have unique names, you can call every function by its name. Here the function name is function name itself. Using the underscore, I have separated the two words. So you cannot give like this. This two name cannot be a function. You should specify a underscore, and this is considered as a single word. So now it is considered as a single name. Using this single name, I am calling the function. So while calling the function, you don't want to use this def keyword. So next, inside this round brackets, I have given specified the parameters. So if here I have specified 7, so inside the print statement, welcome to Techno Programs will be printed as it is, and the parameters will be replaced by the number 7. So in this way you can use the parameter concept. So now we will code it, and it will be more clear to you. So let's start the code. Now I am going to create a function, so that I am using the def keyword, and after that I need to specify the name. The name may be simple interest. The name must be a single word, so I am using underscore. So this may be a simple interest. For calculating the simple interest, I need the principal amount, and the rate of interest, and the number of years. So I am specifying it inside the function. Let the principal amount be 1000, and the rate of interest be 3%, and the number of years be 2 years. So now I am calculating the simple interest. Star and star. The formula of simple interest that you know, PNR by 100. So now I am printing the value of S. So now I am running the program. See here what happens. Now it must be saved as 11th program. See here what happens inside the program. There is no output, nothing comes, because I forgot to call the function. So without calling the function, you cannot run the function. So now I am calling the function with its name. So now I am called the function. Now I have called the function. Now I am running the program. The output is printed. The value of the simple interest is 60. So in this way you can use the function inside your program. So if you are coding a long program and you want to use a simple interest concept for many time, then you need not to code it for every time you are needed. You can define a function like this, and whenever you needed this program, then you can call it by using the function name inside the program. So that is the main use of the function. So now we are going to see how to pass the arguments into the function. in this function I have created p and r inside the function. Now I am not going to create inside the function. Now I am passing the value of p and r. P and n. So inside this brackets I have given three variables, that is p and n and r. These variables are called as parameters as it is given inside this brackets. This is also called as arguments. So now I need to specify, while I am calling the function, I need to specify this value p, n and r. So now I am specifying the value of p to be 1000 and the value of n to be 2 and the rate of interest be 3%. Now I am running the program. The same output will be printed. See here, the same output is printed. The difference is, in the previous function I have assigned this variable p, n and r inside the function. Now I have passed the values to the variables as an argument. So in this way you can use the arguments inside the function. So the 1000 will be automatically assigned to p, and 2 will be automatically assigned to n, and the third argument 3 is automatically assigned to r respectively, as it is given in the order. So now we are going to see a concept called default arguments. So the default argument is much more interesting concept in Python. Let's see what is meant by default arguments. So first see here, now I have the variable p and n and r. If I forgot to call the function with some arguments, then what will do? The program will raise an error. See here, the program raised an error because missing three required positional arguments, that is p is not defined, n and r. We haven't mentioned any values to these three variables. So the mathematical calculations cannot be done with these characters. So to overcome this error, Python has a default concept called default arguments. So now I am assigning the p to be 1000 here inside this round brackets, and n to be 7 for 7 years and r to be 10%. Now I am running the program. It will not raise an error as it is gave the value 700, because we have assigned a default value inside this brackets. So you may ask, whenever I am giving the default value will be working. But what if I have specified here the arguments, that is if I have also specified here 1000 and 3 and 2 and 3. So if I have specified the arguments here, then this default arguments won't work. See here, I will run it for you. See here, the output is 60. But if you haven't specified this, the output will be 700. So that is the difference between giving a default argument and also giving the original argument. So the priority of the Python is, whenever we are calling it with an argument, the argument will also be passed into the specified variable. But when we forget to call any argument, then the default argument will be printed. Now here I have specified two arguments. I forgot to specify the third argument. Then what will happen? Automatically the third default argument will be assigned to the variable r. So the output is 200. The third argument, that is the r, will be automatically assigned, and p will be 1000 and n will not be 7. It will be only 2, because I have assigned the original argument here. So now you know the priority that the Python assigns. So this is the concept of default argument. Next we are going to pass a list of arguments inside the program. So for that, a list of arguments, I am defining another function, that is def, let the function name be list1. List is a keyword, so that I cannot use it as a function name, so that I am using list1. So now I am specifying the round brackets to mark it as a function. Now I am printing for I in range, for I in word. First I create a list. let the list be word. Word is equal to, inside this brackets the word be. So inside this word I have 3 words. So now I am going to pass these 3 words inside a function. So for that I am passing here a variable called an argument I need to pass. Let the argument be u. So for I in u, I am printing I. So first I need to call the function. So for that we have given the name list1, and while calling I am giving an argument. The argument is a list, so word. So now I am running the program. Let's see what happens. Yeah, see here the output is printed. So you may notice that what is this for loop and all, why I am passing here why I am passing here the word, the list here. So what is this and all? Now I will explain it to you. Let's see. First we have created a list word Hulk, Captain Marvel and word Natasha. So these are the 3 words we have inside the list. So now if I need to pass a list inside a function, what I need to do means, in the same way I am calling the list, in the same way while passing the argument, you are not passing a word or a letter. You are passing the list as an argument. Here word is a list. That is, we have predefined it as 3 list. That is Hulk, Captain Marvel and Natasha. So when you are passing the list, that is here the list is word. So when you are passing it, the list will be automatically assigned to you. So that is, we have capturing the list into the word u here. We have defined the function by using the for loop. For I in u, in every u means u is nothing but a list. That is, inside this u you have so this means inside this u, this is the meaning of that. So now you will be clear. Now while using the for loop, for I in this list, I am printing the value of I means first the Hulk will be printed and the next Captain Marvel will be printed and next Natasha will be printed. So in this way you can pass a list of arguments into a function. It is nothing but u. Next we are going to see about the return statement. First I am defining a function called let the function name be keyboard. So inside this brackets, now I have defined a function. Now inside this function I am getting the value of s is equal to a plus b plus c. Now I am getting the value a and b and c as an argument. So now I am returning the value s. No need to specify semicolon in Python. Now I am calling the function keyboard of 10. The value 10 will be assigned to a and the b is assigned also 10 and c is assigned. So the value stored in s will be 30. Now I am not printing s inside the function. In the previous function we seen that we have printed inside the function. All these things we have printed here, like this we have printed. Now I am not printing this function. Now I am just returning s. This return statement, what it does means, the return statement must be the end of the function. So what this return statement does means, it will return s to the, that is when we called the function, the s will be returned after coming from the function. For example, I am capturing the s into the variable y. Now I am printing y, then the value of s will be printed. That is, 30 will be printed. Now just I am printing y. Now I am running it and show you. See, 30 is printed. Now I am captured the value 30 inside this variable y. That is, when we called the keyboard function, this after calling this keyboard function, this function works. That is, s is equal to 10 plus 10 plus 10 returned 30. 30 is returned inside this function. Now this is assigned to 30. Now y is equal to 30. Hence it is printed 30. So in this way you can use the return statement inside the function. The return statement is nothing but if you want to return something from the function into your main program, then you can use the return function. So this is the function concept in Python. Now I am reading the function definition. Now you will be more clear. A function is a block of code that we have seen. A function is nothing but a block of code. See here, it contains a block of code. Here the block is nothing but a two-line code. So a function is a two-line code which runs when it is called. So it runs when it is called. So I am calling it here as it runs. You can pass data known as parameters into a function. That I have passed it and show you. See here, 10 is known as parameters that I have passed. So this is the meaning of that line into the function. A function can return data as a result. That is nothing but we have printed the return statement here. Return s means it has returned some data as a result, and we have captured the result in this variable y, and I have printed the y. So that is the definition of function. So in the next video we will see about the recursive function. So that is the main concept, and it will be little confusing, but it will be very interesting to know what is meant by regression and how the recursive program works, the algorithm. So that will be more interesting. So see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed this channel, subscribe this. Thank you.